Hi everyone. 2 vlogs in a week. This is exciting. Come grab your coffee or your tea or some water and just chill with me. I'm not going to make this long because I have to go grocery shopping and work and pick up my son. And which appropriately brings me into why I wanted to vlog this morning. So it's cold here in New England. We had this ice storm and there's like just inches and inches of ice on people's cars and blah, blah. Anyway, I signed up for a 300,000 step challenge. Literally every time I vlog, it's like on the hour. You hear the cuckoo clock? And you can count the cuckoos, they're off. I never know how to set it the right way when it's daylight savings time and having the cuckoos match up with what actually time it is, but I've had a little bit of other stuff going on. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is survivorship groups. I'm not using the word support groups intentionally because I don't really like the support groups that I've been like exploring. So, yeah. So I feel like I'm ready. I've been weaning off of the oncology therapy appointments because he says I'm sane. No, like I still need his support. You know, there's still stuff I want to bring up. But at this point, I think I was going 2 weeks and I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if it's 3 this time, but whatever. The point is I'm kind of weaning away. Not to stop them, because I feel like I get great tidbits of support. Because like every month is something different. Every week is something different that you don't realize that you're doing. And you know, as much as these vlogs are helpful for me, I know that they're helpful for other people. I've had so many people reach out just in the past week. And it's, honestly, it was a little overwhelming this morning. It's great for the support, but it was overwhelming this morning, but overwhelming in a good way. So anyway, I don't like to exercise. I hate to go to the gym. The kind of exercise that I normally like to do for fun, I can't really do right now, like Zumba. You know, I'm doing the best that I can, but dancing around, like, you know, like jumpy kind of dancing is not going to work with the girls right now. So I signed up for a fundraiser. I don't even remember how long ago it was now, but I tend to do that kind of stuff where I'll sign up for fundraisers where I'm raising money for causes that I believe strongly in. And over the past couple of years, even before my cancer, they've been cancer related. A friend of mine passed away from oral cancer. I did a walk. I mean, through COVID, it's not like a walk where you're with a billion other people. You just log your steps and stuff. Or log how far you've gone. So the one I'm doing right now, I really should have gotten some chapstick before I started. The one I'm doing right now is a 300,000 step challenge for the month of February, because I guess February is Cancer Awareness Month. I feel like every month is something to remind you about cancer. And while I get, you know, it's the point of why they do it, you know, let's do these fundraiser things, let's raise some money, let's help some people. I'm at a place where, like, I want to stop talking about cancer. Yet here I am. And I'm going to listen to my body for a second because my lips are, like, crazy chapped. And I need chapstick. And as much as all of you are awesome, I need to listen to my body because my lips are crazy, crazy dry. Lip balm is one of the best things you can buy for anyone going through medical stuff, especially in New England in the winter. Anyhow, and I just like rolled out of bed, have my coffee here. But yeah, survivorship group. So I signed up for this walk, and I'm typically like I used to be, I guess, you know, go big or go home kind of person, you know, like give me a goal of 10 miles and I'm like, I could do those 10 miles. And you know what? I could do 12 or whatever. And then I see these other people posting and saying, oh, I walked 45 miles today. So I'm like, damn it, I want to walk 45 miles too. and acknowledging your body and what you can and can't do. So this 300,000 step thing in the month of February is, if you do the math and go backwards, if February had 30 days, that's 10,000 steps a day. I don't do 10,000 steps a day. I bought this Amazon Halo, which I've mentioned, which I actually have to charge. I bought this around Christmas time for myself. And it keeps track of steps and sleep and whatever. I slept till 5 a.m. this morning, which was like really exciting because I'm pretty much always up till 4. Or not up, I always wake up at 4. So when you do the math, 10,000 steps a day. And I'm like, okay, I want to exercise. I was told pretty early on after surgery, like, there's nothing wrong with your legs. Obviously you have limitations for the upper half of your body, but there's nothing wrong with your legs. So get up and go walk, and, I live in a space where I can, get up and walk. I mean, I have a gym across the way, but we have a mask mandate in town right now because of COVID, and people in the gym in my apartment complex are not wearing masks in the gym. So I'm not going in the gym. Unless like there's nobody else there, but I'm not a big fan of treadmills. I find them boring. Like, I'd rather walk where there's stuff to look at. So I started, I started walking, and then like I realized after like the third day, and I'm like, wait a minute, if I keep up this rate, like, I am never going to hit 300,000 steps in the month of February. And they're like, oh, that's okay. You have until March 6th or something. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to hit 300,000 steps by March 6th either. And then I get frustrated because, like, I guess part of my nature and being mathematical, like, things have to get finished, Maybe it's the mom in me too. Like, you don't sign up for something and then not finish it. I'm not a not finisher. Though, one of the things I'm learning from this whole breast cancer journey is that sometimes you have to be a not finisher, and that's okay. You can't do stuff 100% all the time. So I made a comment in the walk I'm doing is for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, and I actually reached out to them. I went on the website, again, pretty early on after surgery, I think, or maybe after I found out. And they offer these hope kits. And in the hope, I think I've mentioned this before, and in the hope kits, they have like, I actually know it was before surgery, because there's like fuzzy socks in there, and a water bottle, and chapstick, and just like stuff that you need, and stuff that, pampers you a little bit. And granted, they have like the pink ribbons on them, whatever, but it's just something small. It seems small, but it's not small. It's stuff that's practical. Like, when I'm sitting granted, I didn't need chemo, but when I'm sitting in the chair with my Zameda infusion, you know what? I would like to have a pink ribbon water bottle for sitting in the damn chair, because I don't want to be in that damn chair. I get why I'm in the chair, and I know that it's important, but like, while you're having it done, it's not a fun walk in the park. And even the lip balm, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's like I've gone through more lip balm than I ever have. But anyway, so I signed up and I went on to order the Hope Kit. And normally they have events where people come together to assemble the Hope Kit. But because of the pandemic, they haven't been doing that. And they've been having a harder time finding people to, I guess, put the Hope Kits together. And so when I ordered it, they said, like, right now we don't have stock to be able to send them out. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I can go on Amazon and order a thing, whatever. But, it's nice to get a box in the mail. One thing that I will plug, because I just got one, is TheraBox. THERABOX. Back when I became newly single, I obviously was not a super happy camper. And I wanted to like give myself a little gift of something, just to remind myself that I love myself. And so I looked at things like FabFitFun and whatever, but I didn't want to spend a fortune on things. And it's so funny because there was one that I subscribed to for a really long time, and I can't even remember what it was. But there was a lot of makeup in it all the time, and like lip glosses. And then I would get a box every month, and I'm like, oh my Lord, how many lip glosses could I possibly go through? So I stopped it because I'm like, this isn't like helping me. It's so funny because I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't FabFitFun. It was something else. I don't even remember. Shows you how like impactful it was. And then I did a lot of, looking through other companies, because there's a lot of people that do that. And then I found TheraBox, and I have to say, I truly, truly, truly love TheraBox. And you can choose like monthly. You can do it every like 2 or 3 months or something. And just like randomly, a package comes in the mail, and you don't know what's inside, and like this past one, oh gosh, what was in there? I mean, I've gotten a scarf from them. Oh my gosh, I got these white fluffy slippers in there that were so, so, so comfortable. Like, didn't even know that I needed it. So this past weekend, it was like Take Care Jen weekend. I know I'm getting on a tangent, but whatever. Welcome to Jen. It was like, let's pamper Jen weekend. Because I have been running around with a chicken with my head cut off, and because of other stuff going on, not health related. And I'm like, I don't want to get back in that mode, that's how I run all the time, because that is not a healthy way to live, where you're running, doing. You need to give yourself a break. And it's a weird phase where I am right now, or where anyone I think is at this stage where phase, I don't like to use the word stage anymore, where I'm like 5.5 months post-op, and obviously way better than I was 5 months ago, but you're still trying to figure out your body. Like, I put this t-shirt on today. It has a logo on it, and I don't know, whatever. I don't want to mix companies and my vlogs and stuff together. But anyway, I wore this. I had this t-shirt. I haven't worn it in like 4 years or something. And it was empowering because it was a course that I took that with a fantastic company. And I put it on, and it just felt weird. It was like, it's form fitting because it's like a women's size, like it's curved and stuff. But it just like, it feels weird, and it just makes me feel like I'm not comfortable, like literally not comfortable in my own skin. And then I go grab scarves because, I don't know, they're warm and cozy. Like, I literally don't feel comfortable in my own body today. And I hear it's supposed to rain, so that might be part of it too. But what I feel like I can control is when I come across, I'm on social media, and I come across these fundraisers, and I'm like, well, I can walk, so I'm going to go sign up for that. And I've done a few of them successfully. It's for me, it's not even so much about the money. Although I know it's about the cause. And I know the money is what supports the cause. And I always do my homework about what companies it is that I'm supporting. Like, I do know that the Susan G. Komen Foundation, sorry, but they only give like 20% of their fundraising to actual research. The rest goes back into their company, which I don't like. That's not why I'm fundraising. So I signed up for this one, and I quickly met my goal, and then I increased the goal, like financially, whatever, met the goal. And I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to like plug. That's not what this is all about. If people want to donate, they will. What's interesting is that someone donated who I don't even know. It's a friend of a friend, which was weird and nice, but weird. And then I made, they have a page on Facebook, so that way everyone who's doing the challenge, or not challenge, whatever it's called, it is a challenge, can just, post how they're doing, ask questions, whatever. I've tried many different support groups, looking online, and not had a lot of great feedback and experience with it. What I find mostly is people that are just complain, which granted, yeah, you have a lot to complain about, but it's to the point where like when you look at it, there's no glass half fullness. It's all, which I know is hard to see, but like at this point for me, you know, I want to join something where it's like go Jen go, you know, or here's a success story, or you know, here's something that I learned that was helpful. Like that's what I'm looking for. And what I learned is that support groups aren't, like there's a very distinct difference between support groups and survivorship groups. Survivorship groups tend to be more glass half full and, you know, I'm doing okay and how can I do better? And please give me advice and I'm having a tough day, help me out. But not like I'm having a tough day, here's the 40 things that are going wrong. You know, if it's at that point, like maybe you should talk to a therapist or something. I don't mean that rudely, but like if there's that much stuff going on, you might need more support than like this support group. So, and then there's the support groups that like, they do social things, which is great, but you have to be in active treatment in order to do stuff. And I'm like, well, I just want to paint a picture with all of them, but I can't because I'm not doing chemo or radiation. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still healing from my surgery. And I am still on my cocktail of medication, which is changing my entire body. Like, it's not like, boom, cancer goes away after your mastectomy. I mean, it literally goes away after the mastectomy, but then, you know, you're on the tamoxifen or the Zometa or the Lupron or all that stuff, you know, to keep everything away. And there's still a thought in the back of my head that like, well, what if they missed a cell? What if they missed one little piece of tissue that, oopsie, forgot that one? You know, I don't think that's the case, but like that thought is always in my head. That like, what if? Like cells are ridiculously small. I would think it's easy to miss one. And that's not very glass half fullness. But I know that like every day when my ALEXA tells me to take my tamoxifen, it just reminds me that like, while it's annoying to hear that, but I do need reminders to remember to take it. It reminds me that like, if there is one, I'm like, see you later, sucker. Here comes my tamoxifen to come down and like starve you and have you die, you know. The cells, not me. Yeah. So, looping back around. So I made a comment in this 300K fundraiser group thing, and it didn't dawn on me that most of the people I think that are doing this aren't cancer patients. They're people that are supporting people that had cancer. And I think that's what the difference is, because the last one that I did was, I thought was basically everyone had breast cancer. And that's not what it is for this one. So people are like, you know, yeah, I walked 15,000 miles or 15,000 steps this morning. And I'm like, what? Like, holy cow. And I mean, we had this ice storm. It's cold. Like, you know, it's hard to walk. It's hard to walk with snow boots. Like a period in life. They're clunky. But right now there's a lot that's not plowed. So I would need to walk with snow boots and they're heavy. And one weird thing, and a friend of mine who also, went through, breast cancer recently, we're on very similar paths with each other. She mentioned something about like her hips. And I said, like, I noticed when I'm walking with the snow boots that like where my leg hits, I don't know if that's my hip. I don't know. Where my leg hits like my torso, my upper leg, like it just gets sore. And I just figure it's from the weight, but it's only on my right side, which I don't really know why. And she was having the same thing with like, I don't know, it's just weird. And I'm like, is that a thing with the tamoxifen? Because I don't know. Like joint achiness. I feel like everything is a side effect from tamoxifen, but whatever. So anyway, yeah. And then in the cold, like I'll bundle myself up to the point where that like almost my entire face is covered. But the other day I went out and it was 20-ish degrees outside and I walked for like 45 minutes. I think I just got in the zone and I wasn't paying attention to how long I'd been out. And then my son had pulled up in my car and was sitting in there. So I went like, boo, to surprise him. And he didn't recognize me first because I was all bundled up. But he said to me, like, man, your cheeks are like crazy red. And I didn't realize how red they were. And then I came in and my cheeks were like super hot. And I'm like, did I just give myself like, you know, freezer burn from being outside for too long? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really paying attention. And another thing that makes a mastectomy not the same thing as a boob job is that I can't feel my boobs. So if my boobs were to get like freaking freezing cold, I would have no idea because I don't have, I mean, I have increasing sensation, I think, but like, I don't have sensation. Like I'll bang into something and with my boob and not feel it because it's, you know, I don't have any feeling. It's getting better over time and some people get their feeling back and some people don't. It's a process. But it worries me with the cold and it's like, you know, well, do they freeze? Like, I don't know. I don't know. How much should I be bundled up? I have no idea. All right, back to my point. So I put a comment on the National Breast Cancer Foundation page for this fundraiser. And I said, like, I'm not going to hit my 300K goal. Like, I'm not saying that to be defeatist, but I'm like, you'd have to walk over 10,000 steps a day to hit that goal. And I'm like, I can't run myself ragged. I've learned that from this whole process. Like, I can't do that. And in a way, I feel like I'm letting down the people that are donating money because, like, you know, money's money. Like, money's a commodity. And, like, you know, I know deep down that I'm not letting them down. It's just like if I commit to something, I want to be able to do it. And I have to remember that one of the greatest lessons that I learned from this whole cancer experience is, you know, my body can do what my body can do. And I don't need to be like the person that walked 15,000 steps. Turns out that she is not a cancer survivor. She, you know, I think someone in her family had cancer. And I put this comment up. And I said, like, you know, I have to remember that, like, I'm still healing. I could do what I can do. Every step is a step that's going to support, you know, other people getting hope kits or, you know, all the other stuff that the National Breast Cancer Foundation does. And look at it that way and not be so hard on myself. And it's, you know, that's something that takes a long time to unlearn, is being tough on yourself. And I was inundated this morning with comments from people that are doing that walk. I mean, I literally had 144 like thumbs up, likes, cares, whatever it was. I don't even know how many comments because I couldn't get through them all. And then I'm like, I have to get going because I need to go grocery shopping. But the comments were like, wow, those comments are what makes things like that different from regular survivor or support groups, because almost all of them were totally things that I needed to hear. And I'm going to ask too and throw it in there, like, are you guys in, or gals in, some sort of group? Because these are the kind of people, this is the kind of feedback that I need to hear and that I want around me. Large thing, almost like probably the largest, really, except for the, you know, body stuff, is like, lesson that I've learned is like, who do you want to have around you in life? You know, what energy do you want to be around in life? And I held on to relationships with people, like friendships and stuff, or even family, I guess, for some people, that were like, well, yeah, because, like, you know, you've been friends with this person for so long, so whatever. But then looking back and thinking, like, well, is this serving me to have this person in my life? You know, I talked about those. If you haven't watched that vlog, I feel like that was such a great vlog. not so much for me, but the idea was from the oncology therapist about the circles of friendships. So if you haven't watched that one yet, that's a really good one to understand, especially for people that are newly diagnosed, because you're like, I have cancer, and some people totally step up and save the day, and other people are like, see ya, and then you don't hear from them again, which is just like crazy. And that happened to me. A lot of people that I was, I shouldn't say that, it wasn't a lot of people. Some key people in my life that I thought would be there to step up, I literally have not heard from since surgery. And I'm like, seriously? Whatever, I'm letting that be. But what I'm learning is, what do you want to surround yourself with? And that group, like those comments, that's what I want to surround myself with. When they remind me that, someone said, she's a year out and she still, doesn't move like she used to move. Or, every step is a step forward. You don't have to take 10,000 steps forward today. If you think about it like that, like taking a step forward is a big deal. Taking 10,000 steps is kind of extreme when you think of like 10,000 steps in life, but like that's like so what I needed to hear. It's not just like the Go Jen, which is great. And then somebody said they were walking for people that loved ones that had, it just started snowing outside. Aww. It just started snowing outside. Sorry, distracted. So that just makes you just stop and be like, phew. Mother Nature has other plans. The world has other plans, It's just so like lightly falling right now. How nice. Like glass half empty, people would be like, I have to shovel again. And I'm just like, oh, look how faintly it's just falling down. And those are the signs that just tell you to stop and just enjoy the moment and enjoy what you can do. So I'm going to wind it down there so I can have my coffee and watch the snow falling outside before I have to go grocery shopping. And, even with that, if I don't get my whole list done, I don't get my whole list done. Sometimes good enough is just what needs to be good enough. Not being so hard on yourself. And when someone says to me that they notice I'm being hard on myself, I'm like, damn, like after all this shit, I haven't learned to stop doing that, But I catch myself way earlier or reach out and mention something. And then, when people see that and I'm not seeing that, I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. And that's not what I want to be doing. So slow it down and look at how far I've come. And, little things like I helped scrape the car off yesterday, which was a big deal when you have like, I don't know how many inches of ice were in my car. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, all those little steps, and that's what I need to focus on. If I don't hit the 300K, I don't hit the 300K. And then someone who commented, and, I thanked him for his comment, went on my site and or on my page for the fundraiser and donated $200. And I'm like, holy cow. And then some other woman said to me that what I said, like, really, like, touched her, like, emotionally. So I know that, like, all the sharing and stuff, well, it's great for me. And I get to just, like, stop and look at the snow and cuddle up in my scarf with my coffee and, and talk to all of you. And it's helping other people. And now that I'm this far out of it, like, that's a large part of what I want to do with all this stuff. If you're going to have cancer, the least you could do is help out some other people that, are just starting this journey or might just need some reminder or something. I don't know. And not care so much that, like, I got out of bed. I'm getting my hair colored tomorrow. My roots are like wicked gray. Do I care? Not really. I don't really care. My glasses are like reflecty, whatever. I don't care. I don't need to be all dressed up to, like, send the point home. So that's what I wanted to share today about. This one is mostly for people that are going through all this stuff. It's about survivorship groups versus support groups. And it takes some time. It's like finding a partner. It takes some time to find one that's going to work for you. Because some just don't click, and you won't know that until, you know, you're part of it and see what the dynamic is of the group. And it'll be nice to like fast forward someday when COVID is like, you know, not keeping us from living life. Numbers are going down, which is great. But once people could actually go out and like do stuff more safely, it will be nice to connect with people that have gone through this stuff, you know. We can have a, hey, look at my scar party. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I strongly suggest finding survivorship groups versus support groups. Unless you're a glass half empty person and want to complain a lot, in which case you should go on a support group and be one of those people that I don't need to have around. Alrighty, that's all for today. That's all I got. My words of wisdom as I'm going out right now is, and for all of you, is to take care of yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I gave myself a manicure yesterday. Woo. I stopped and like showered and got my nice, you know, curly hair thing going, and yeah, just took some time to, I gave myself a pedicure this past weekend just to slow things down. So just remember that you got to take time for you. You got to take time for you and not be your own worst critic. Be your biggest cheerleader. When you see yourself, you know, crawling down that very easy rabbit hole of like, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z, you know, flip it around. What are you doing? Even if it's just 3 things, like what 3 things did I do today? You know, well, it's early in the morning, so I haven't done much yet. I gave my ice scraper to a woman in the parking lot that didn't have an ice scraper. That was a big deal. I have lots of ice scrapers. But like, even if you get 3 things done, I washed the dish today. Good. You know, I folded 1 piece of laundry today. Good. You don't have to do the world in a day. You know, you do what you can do. That's all I got. It's Monday here, so happy Monday. Bye, everyone.